Well, it's a gorgeous day here in Tenerife and I'm back with another Canary Islands news update. If you're new here, I am Andrew. I do live here in Los Cristianos. If you're returning, a big welcome back. Haven't done a little news update for a while. We do normally have them regularly on the channel, but there hasn't really been a huge amount to run through. But I have had a few messages regarding a bit of tax back. If you're from the UK, you could get a little bit of money back after your holiday. I'll be running through that. I'm going to be running through the weather and also just my general feelings about the island at the moment, how things are. I've been out and about, of course, all of the time, dealing with clients, out doing a few excursions, the beaches and stuff. So I'll be going through all of that as well. So let's jump right into it. So I'm going to start where I've had many messages from you all regarding claiming some of the tax back from the items and things that you're going to spend money on over on holiday. One of the benefits of Brexit is the UK do benefit from that third party rule where we're going to be able to claim back up to 7%, 15%, depending on what you've bought, of the tax back on the items that you've spent. There is a lot of deadlines and minimum spends and things as well, so it does sound quite complicated. I think once it comes into effect, we're going to be able to learn a bit more. We'll try and speak to someone who's done it, who's done the process, tell you how hard it was. It does sound a little complex. There is the new tax-free system that has been approved by the Canary Islands government. It will come into force from February the 23rd. What you will have is a portal there at the airport or at ports where you'll be able to go on and claim some of the tax back. However, to qualify, you do have to spend between €380 when the items are subject to a 15% IGIC tax and €816 if the items are subject to 7%. For example, 7% would be your bars, your restaurants. I think if you're going to spend a good chunk over a couple of weeks, it could well be very worth it. However, what I can anticipate is you've got a lot of UK flights leaving at the same time. The likes of Jet2, when you go and check in, you've got 4 or 5 other Jet2 flights going to various places in the UK. How busy are these machines going to be? How complicated is it going to be? It's going to be very interesting to find out. I think the proof in the pudding will be when we actually speak to someone who's been through the process and completed it. However, you should, in theory, be able to claim back some of the tax that you spent, which would be nice. Put it towards your next trip to the Canaries or another holiday. Bit of money back for you all. There's a bit of criticism because it is a bit more complicated than the one they have over in mainland Spain. For example, if you go to Benidorm, you spend over those amounts, you can sort of do it as you go. This one, you've got a 3-hour time window before your flight to get in there and get it done and make the claim. So it's going to be a little bit more complex. There's a lot of criticism for it, but as I said, until we see it in place, how it works, speak to someone who's done it, I think then we'll be able to do a little bit more of a better judgment. Moving on, Santa Cruz over there, last couple of weeks has had many cruise ships stopping, which is fantastic. I've always said the Canaries should have more cruises stopping off, especially here in Tenerife as well. And in Santa Cruz last week, they did have over 9,000 people stop off for cruises. The city was full, the bars were full, the restaurants were full, shops were busy. It coincided with the sales that were on. It was very vibrant up there, and I think that's fantastic for the island. I really do. The cruise ships stopping off. Let me know your thoughts on that. Have you ever done a cruise around the Canaries? Would you do one? I know a lot of you would, because it's very hard to pick what your favourite island is, whether it be Gran Canaria, Lanzarote, Tenerife. Why not do all of them on a nice week's cruise? That's TUI do one of them, and it does sound very attractive indeed. But it's nice to see Santa Cruz doing so well. I was up there doing a live stream last week, and it was nice and vibrant. It was a nice vibe up there. It's very different to the south, and just good to see cruises. I want more cruise ships stopping. It's very good for us. One other thing to note as regards to Santa Cruz, the new cleaning and waste policy has now come into effect from today, which replaces one that dates back to the 80s. The updating of many points are the main reason for the introduction. Many of those are to do with spitting, urinating and smoking on beaches. So as of today, you may struggle to sit there smoking on some of the beaches. The new rule does allow the council to establish allocated areas for smoking, so rocky areas or little designated smoking area in the corner. However, a lot of the beaches haven't decided where that's going to be yet. So a lot of the beaches now are just smoke-free altogether. Let me know your thoughts on that. I think it's good for the oceans, because unfortunately We do get a lot of lazy smokers who don't put their cigarette butts in the bin. They end up in the sand. You've got kids playing in the sand and they're picking up cigarette butts, and it ends up out in our lovely ocean where we've got pilot whales living out here permanently. So personally, I think it's a good thing, but do let me know down in the comments. There's a few other little bits that have come into place with that article to do with littering, putting rubbish next to the bins. Can carry a big €2,000 fine. Also feeding stray cats, disposing of dead animals in bins and things like that. I don't really want to talk about that, unfortunately. But yeah, smoke-free beaches, let me know your thoughts down in the comments. I like your opinions on that. I think all of the non-smokers will all be in one side. If you are a smoker, unfortunately you get lumped in with the lazy smokers who unfortunately make the beaches very dirty. But do let me know your thoughts. More positive news as well, the Canary Islands are still going for it with increasing visitors, getting up the spend of tourism as well. They have been to FITUR, which is another big, how would you call it, like a conference to market the Canaries for more tourism, so it's all good news for us. In general, I'm going to talk about my experiences over the last couple of weeks. It has now dropped off after Christmas here in Tenerife in particular. It's a very different clientele that are here at the moment. It is more of your older clientele. I did go to Siam Park yesterday. I did a full day. I got there when it opened and it was lovely and quiet, simply because there is not many families here. There's not many kids. They've all gone back after Christmas, and the clientele that's here are more down on the promenade, having a wander, having a bite to eat. So we have got more of the older clientele. If you're interested in doing Siam Park, I'd 100% recommend it, or any of the water parks on the islands, because they are nice and quiet at the moment. We've got no kids. The weather's lovely. 27 degrees it was yesterday, and we walked on every slide at Siam Park, and a lot of the rides didn't even open until 1 o'clock. That's how quiet the park was. They didn't want to have lifeguards sitting on the slides doing nothing, so they opened half of them. Didn't open half of them till 1 o'clock, so that shows how quiet it is over there in Siam Park. Restaurants though, still very busy. As I said, clientele, the older people, they want to eat out, they want to have their meals. All of the restaurants that I've seen recently down on the Golden Mile, very busy. Book in advance, get the table that you'd like. The weather has slightly cooled off of an evening time. Me and Laura have been noticing that of an evening, if we've been out, it has gone quite a bit cooler. Once it gets to about 9, half 9, we do want to put our jumpers on, our jeans. It goes down to about 17 degrees with a little bit of a sea breeze. That is quite nippy, you do feel it. But in the day, it's still 25 right now today, absolutely gorgeous. You've got boat trips out here, jet skis, all your excursions are still busy. I still stand by booking those in advance as well. Car hire, still extremely busy. But yeah, any of those family places are a little bit quieter at the moment without the kids. In terms of pickpocketing, I mention it all the time. That is another reminder for you, it's still going on. Cars still being broken into as well. It is peak season for that, so please do be careful. Look after your wallets, look after your phones, your valuables. Maybe just take cash out with you or your cards, and don't leave anything valuable inside your rent-a-cars either. And if you've got a safe in the room or your apartment, make sure you lock everything away in the safe as well, and just look after yourselves. In terms of the weather, I have basically touched on it, but in terms of a forecast, it's going to be nice and steady like this. A few scattered clouds around up until Friday. Then Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Basically all of next week is absolutely full blue skies, full sunshine, absolutely glorious. But even the scattered clouds, there's a few little white fluffy things up there in the mountains, but they don't affect down here on the coast. It's absolutely gorgeous. If you're on your way over, plenty of sun cream. I've seen so many people burnt at the moment. The sun is still extremely strong. It's the winter, but the sun is so strong you will burn. Plenty of water as well. But yeah, expect lovely weather and have a lovely time in the sunshine. That is going to be it from me. Any new important news that comes out, I will of course be on. If I've missed anything, let me know in the comments. Let me know about smoking on the beaches, and let me know if you would bother queuing up and trying to claim that tax back if you spend over that amount. Overall, that's it from me. Thank you very much. Hit the thumbs up, make sure you subscribe, and stride on. We'll hopefully see you here, either in Tenerife or in the Canaries, in the sunshine.